Today I'm going to walk you through our mudroom and show you all the exciting things from how we thought through storage, even take you inside of the cabinets and talk about the materials we used and the size of the space, everything. So come on with me and let's go on a little tour together. Okay, so if you have followed the blog for a while, you know that we used to have a completely different entry. This was right here where we entered the house. As you can see, we entered straight onto hardwood. It was very difficult. We talked about all sorts of different ways to handle this. It was a big mistake we made when custom designing our house. So when we decided to add a garage, our contractor decided to show us that we could add this whole mudroom addition. And so we worked with them to come up with a way to add this addition that would allow us wonderful storage and space to have a full-on mudroom. So I wanted to talk about and give you a full tour of how we actually did that and what materials we used, everything along the way. So come with me and let's go through all this. First of all, we decided that we were gonna definitely add tile in here. So we had the opportunity to work with Fireclay Tile like we have in the rest of our home to add in one of their new materials that is a matte industrial grade tile, which is like so different than walking on to hardwoods with snowy boots and everything and having toddlers strip off all their snow gear onto hardwoods. This is much more conducive. It is not slippery at all. It is waterproof. It is all made in the US and made of 70% recycled material. We love Fireclay for a lot of reasons, but they are a B-Corp certified company and they're working on becoming carbon neutral. So they make use of reuse so much of their materials. We love what they stand for as a company. So to get them into our house one more time was such an exciting thing. So we love this tile. It is called Skyscraper and it is a 3x8 tile that we just did in a subway type pattern, like an offset pattern. So it's kind of like a take on a cobblestone brick road, but it has that modern edge because of the coloring and the grout and everything like that. So it really combines all the things we have brought into our house anyways. It kind of has that modern farmhouse look. Then we were able to repurpose the door that we originally had in the house, which is from Simpson Doors. And you can see it over here. We've reset it here on the house. And it is the same door, the exact same thing. So we didn't have to purchase a new door. And we were able to repurpose two windows that we removed to add an additional porch, which we will talk about in another video this spring once we can actually take you out on the porch. And then we just had to purchase one more window from Pella, and this one is a fixed window, not a casement. So that is kind of how we made that all work. So we were able to actually make use out of a lot of things financially in order to make this happen. So onto the cabinets. This is the most exciting part of this, that we get the most amount of questions. But first of all, this space is 8 feet wide by 20 feet long. That is a top question we get, and I wanted to answer that one. So it is just straight down 20 feet. And then all the cabinets are 24 inches wide by 24 inches deep. They are custom made by our contractors team, and they did a beautiful job and really helped us along the way. We have a toe kick put down below, and then as you can see, there's like these compartments up above. They're actually empty. It's just to help it like finish all the way to the top because it's 9 feet in here, and we wanted to use a solid piece of maple plywood in order to do these. So, and these only come in 8-foot segments. So it was how we did it. So, and we also, they suggested putting in this like routed edge right here so that it kind of looked, one, it looked like our other cabinets in our home, but it also had this like nice streamlined look to it. So these are just black matte mushroom style knobs that we added to the doors, and the link will be in the description of the video. So if you're interested in them, they are from Wayfair. They're very affordable. They're great. And the doors themselves are maple plywood, and it's an 8-foot piece and it's been routed right here in order for it to look like two separate pieces, but also to bring that modern edge to the door itself. And as you can see right here, there is a veneer that we added, so you can't see the plywood layers in there. It's just a veneer that went over the top. And so it makes it look like a full piece of wood. We save money on the fact that it's a piece of plywood and it's not solid maple. And inside we have these nice little magnets to help keep it from warping and everything. Then in here, I'll go through every single cabinet for you. Don't worry, I know it's a big question and one of the reasons you guys wanted a video. So we thought through every single thing. Since we'd been living in this house for a year when we started designing this, we knew exactly what we needed in a mudroom and where we were lacking in terms of storage. So, which sounds crazy in our house, but it is true. So I wanted to make this space as functional as possible. One of the things that I wanted was for us to have a space that was strictly for utility. So in here we have our Dyson, we have a small vacuum. We also usually have our steam mop in here as well. We have a ladder to reach some of the higher cabinets and shelves in here. And then we just have some utility things and additional cleaning rags, stuff like that. Nothing crazy, but we just wanted it really nice and simple. Then in here, this is more storage in terms of like cleaning supplies and these are rags, and then our natural cleaning supplies. We have kind of a catch-all shelf that is for sunglasses and additional mail or important documents that need to go out. And then this is where we keep all the dog stuff. Down the road, we kind of want to organize this a little bit more, but for now this works great. Then up here, we have a little more dog stuff. Our dogs clearly need plenty of storage. And up there we have some summer items. So those are things we're not using right now because it's winter, so we'll switch those out with winter things once the time comes. So this next section is all intended to be for our kids. So since our kids are involved in the Montessori type of learning environment, we wanted to create similar kind of idea for them here in the house. But the problem is that if we put hooks in, that they wouldn't grow with them. And you know, a 4-year-old we have a 4-year-old and a 3-month-old. And so creating hooks that grow with them was kind of hard without redoing a lot of drywall over and over again. So what we decided to do instead was to create a rack that they could use, and we could just help them a little bit right now, but a lot of other things are at their height and accessible. It won't be long before our 4-year-old will be able to hang his things. I think within a year, he'll be there. So it's very helpful and he understands the concept of a cubby. So I'll start with his, and so you guys can see it since his is a little more in use than our 3-month-old is. But you can see like we just kind of use some tape here on the wood to just like hang up important things to him so he feels like it's his. And since the finish is like, these are sealed with like a really nice strong matte finish, this like washi tape and stuff like that does not affect it. And we have in here, I've hung up all of his like coats and snow pants and things like that. And then he's got like bags and extra things down here. And then these are full of things like his socks and his mittens and hats. And then ski goggles and extra slippers and from school and things like that. So this is like basically what we use. And then a lot of people have asked about what we do with all his art and stuff that comes home. I keep a bin up here for it. And then I just go through it with him once a month. So pretty much, and that's kind of hard, but also I pick out some of the things we really like and we do frame some of it. And then those are really empty up there right now. We haven't filled those. As for our 3-month-old, this is her cabinet. Same thing, important things. And then we have plenty of like jackets, stuff like that, all here in her, and some extra hangers for us and for Hayes. And then we just have like additional things since we're not really using, or she's not really using this space. I just kind of use it to store some additional things. These are like towels for summer and stuff like that. So just some additional little things here and there. And then her bag for going out, extra blankets. And then we have, similarly to our son, we have her mittens and things like that. Once again, all of the links for all the products here will be in the description, and they'll also be in the blog post, so if you have any questions. Then the next thing we had as we thought through it was this bench, and I really wanted it where when you walked in, you felt like you immediately knew as a guest where to go and where to set your things. I didn't want there to be any discrepancy about that. So this is all really intended for display unless we have guests. And so there's always empty hooks for our guests, since our stuff is always usually tucked away unless it's wet or something like that. So what I did here to kind of mix up the white in our house, because we have so much of it, I just did this like subtle bluish tone that was playing off of the color on the tile. So it's really, really, really subtle. And if you, on the right day, you may not even notice this blue, but it is like this light blue color from Sherwin-Williams. I will link it in the description, don't you worry. We also have these awesome cast iron coat hooks here, and these are from Schoolhouse. They're very affordable and really sturdy, which I really like, but they also have that classic farmhouse feel to play off of the modern vibes of everything else. And a really good way to do like the shiplap tongue and groove kind of look is to do it really straight, really clean like this, painting inside of it so that it doesn't look like as rough as normal. It's more like very clean modern lines. There's a really good post on Remodelista about that actually. And then the bench, what we did was, it looks like it's a full solid piece of maple. It is not. What this is it's the same plywood that's mitered to another piece of plywood, and then it's all just put together, and then underneath are a bunch of boards to keep this really supported so it can float. And it's been tested with our 4-year-old, jumping, standing, everything. So I'm hoping it lasts a lifetime, but we shall see. And then we keep our boots underneath because that we're using, or the shoes that we're using in that season. And this is great because the tile is industrial grade, it's matte, and it's really, really, really nice. So we can like leave our boots here, they can drain off, and then we can just clean up afterwards when we need to. So we usually clean it up like once every couple weeks, you know. When you get salt and stuff, it like looks a little gray, but it's the time of year. In the middle of the fall and spring, it will be muddy. So it's just part of living in the seasons. There's no real good way to counter that, I don't think. Then we opted not to do any like big, beautiful rug in here because, let's be honest, we live in the seasons. This isn't gonna work. So instead we got these awesome water hog style rugs, and we have a tray one for really, really dirty boots. And you can see that we already have our muddy, salty boots over here. So in here we have the adults things. So this is where Mike and I keep all of our stuff, and Mike has his coats over here, and then I have my coats over here. We keep pretty much coats for every season. We don't really change these out, and it's kind of just the perfect spot to just put all those things away. We also each have a basket that we have full of this is full of winter stuff. I will probably add in some summer things once we get closer to that season. Mike has some stuff for the gym. We have some additional bags. And then he has his basket right here, as well as his snow pants. I have my snow pants. And then we have some additional summer things. And one last thing, because I know you guys are gonna ask, up here we have all sorts of stuff for our gatherings. So I'm not gonna open them, but it's full of tablecloths and candle holders and candles and all of that. We just wanted a space that was temperature controlled but not our basement, that we could keep these things, since most of the time we use them like straight out these doors. So, or we're taking them into our car to go to a location. So we just wanted them really accessible and not like we had to walk all the way up the stairs over and over again to take them somewhere. So that is what else is up there. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. Go to the blog post. You can find all the sources for everything in the description, and you can also read the full blog post as well. All of it will be there for you. Very excited to share this mudroom reveal with you. Thanks for following along.